Irina Vina Usmanova Gymnastics Palace, named after the most famous of Russian rhythm gymnastics coaches, as you see the lineup here for the men's 67-kilo championship of Europe. Now, the body weights are only relevant in the sense that did they weigh in inside 67 kilos? No longer do they count in terms of positions, but here are the men who are going to take part. You just saw Mr. Genshev, who was 21 last Saturday. Gareev here, the 2019 European Junior Champion as well. Watch out for this man. He was fourth 2 years ago, Mirko Zani. That was in the Europeans. And next man up, the man who represents France, the defending champion, Bernardine Kigumatam. Hoping for better things this time around, Akoran Mendoza. He didn't manage to total in the last Europeans, just managed a clean and jerk. And so to Mr. Ivanov for Belarus, yet to achieve a medal at major championships. And that also applies to Mr. Gench, moving up from 61 kilos. And another man aspiring to get his first major medal, Petr Angelov of Bulgaria. Bulgaria still leading the medal table here on day 3 with 7 gold medals. And then Goja Shekidze. And Goja, one of a number of athletes who've set marks at junior and under 23 levels, as has this man, Mohamed Osbek for Turkey. So that's the field, and it promises to be competitive as ever. As we get heavier in weights, the spread of kilos amongst the entry totals increases. It's just over 25 kilos tonight. And already we're into the action with the best men from the B group earlier today. Michaela, over to you.
In picture now, we've got Victor Castro representing Spain. On the bar, 132. He was successful with 128 on an opening attempt. This to take the lead on the snatch. Missed the 136, which was his third attempt. But he's the lifter in pole position right now. Almost certainly will be surpassed by the lifters from the A group. And now we move on to Petr Petrov representing Czech Republic. This is a 165 attempt. Was successful with 160 on his opener, then missed 165. And here we go. This is the third and final attempt. Unfortunately, failed to make a total. Missed all 3 snatches at 132. There we are. You can see solid overhead. But unfortunately, he's only got a result in the clean and jerk. But there are medals for the snatch and the clean and jerk as well as the overall.
So that was earlier in the day, and as Michaela has just explained, at the moment, it's Victor Castro with an overall total of 280 who leads the competition. There in purple, you can see the opening weights that they posted, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those are the weights they're going to begin on. The standard at senior level, well, you'll see those in a moment, and nobody has reached those particular marks. They were set in October 2018, 151 kilos for the snatch, 181 for the clean and jerk, 327 for the total. And to establish a record, whoever does it must lift an extra kilo above each of those particular weights. There they are for you. And there, as I mentioned a few moments ago, a number of athletes, Gareev, Shekidze, and also Osbek, they're all involved today. They're a little bit older than when they set those records, but we've got 1 or 2 juniors in the competition, so who knows, we might be reaching those levels. It would be very nice to see what promises to be yet another competitive competition. So sit back with Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom, enjoy this one. First part, of course, is the explosive snatch phase. For me, Michaela, I think, to be fair, if I always remember, this was your favorite discipline more than the clean and jerk, although the clean and jerk, you can lift heavier weights.
Yeah, for me personally, I was very tall as a weightlifter, so snatch I was better at. Where I lacked as a weightlifter was in the strength department. I believe 3 components that make a good weightlifter: physical strength, technical ability, and mental strength. I was pretty good on the mental and the technical, and didn't matter how hard I worked, the strength was always an issue. So standing out of a heavy clean was a problem.
This man going up to 67 kilos, and that's a decent start, Michaela.
Yeah, 125 on the board for an opener for Yusuf Genç, representing Turkey. Looks pretty comfortable there. There's a lot of youngsters in this competition, or should I say, in these championships. Across the board, we seem to be seeing more and more younger lifters coming through the ranks. And almost certainly COVID has played an issue in that. A lot of the older lifters who are maybe hanging on for an Olympic Games may have decided that enough's enough and time to hang up their boots.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, the Olympics would have been last year, and some have found the mental strength to train on, but as you rightly say, others have regarded it as being a year, a bridge too far. And there you can see the technical controllers protected by the perspex. Nice to see that they're applying the rules, wearing the mask correctly. Not everybody has been. It's been a noted criticism of more discipline required. The idea of all these masks and the social distancing is to keep yourself, but to keep others safe. That's why it's so important. Not only in the hall, not only in the training hall, but in the hotel, wherever you are. You're not allowed to go out to Red Square. You're not allowed to go sightseeing or to restaurants. It's very much Me Too time and focus on these championships. And that's what this man has to do. Akoran Mendoza, 2 years ago, he didn't achieve any of his snatches. So this is a big test for him. 130 kilos on the bar. It is a weight he can do. And I'm really pleased to see he's got that one.
Yeah, and a fist punch just to celebrate. You know, it means a lot. 2 years off the platform since the last Europeans. It's taken that long to put those gremlins to bed. So nice to be successful on his opener. And we'll take a look. Technically very proficient, as the Spanish usually are. And I think you've had word from Spain to say these guys and girls have been able to train together during lockdown in the National Centre, which is clearly made a difference to their preparation compared to some lifters like Zoe Smith that we saw earlier, who's been training solo in a garage.
Yeah, thanks, Frank, for that piece of information. Very helpful. As we go on to Belarus and Dmitry Ivanov. Ivanov, one of the youngsters, age 20, 5th in the Junior Europeans. Last time it was held, and just about.
And nice to see white lights across the board for the first 3 lifters to enter the competition. We've had a mixed bag so far in these championships, but look at that, maintains great position off the floor, nice and straight at full extension. 2 ways of lifting: lifters that shrug and pull, rip the shoulders back at the top, throw the hips forward and swing the bar, or lifters that really engage glutes and get maximum extension. They're the ones that seem to be more consistent.
Bulgaria leading the medal table, Petar Angolov. So Petar, 4th in the European under-23s 2 years ago. So frustrating to finish 4th. And that's a strong start. This is very interesting, isn't it? Because, Michaela, a lot of lifters under normal circumstances would be a little nervous, maybe a little apprehensive, and they've got to mentally get over. But these guys arguably could be ring rusty.
Yeah, it's a long time off the competition platform, a good year. We just don't know what kind of training some of these have had, and regardless of what preparation you've had, if you've been off this kind of stage, you can get nervous. And remember, they're coming out onto a big platform here with big weights in front of them in terms of what their limits are, and there's no crowd to support them. There's nobody there to get them up for this moment. They've got to do that themselves.
Competition already moving at a pace. Second attempt, 5 kilo increase for Genç. And steadied at the bottom position, but finished it off nicely.
Yeah, you can see the smile. It's nice to see the reaction, a positive reaction, because so many lifters come off the platform and give us nothing in terms of emotion. But I really do enjoy watching a lifter that's enjoying their own lifting. Fast under the bar, catches it in a solid position. That's what you're aiming for as a lifter, to be fast and explosive.
Well, 5 out of 5 so far. Let it continue. Some really talented. There's not an athlete in this field who hasn't been an achiever before arriving on this stage.
Everyone's an achiever to reach this level of competition. They first got to be at least the best or second best in their home country. And as you've quite rightly said, a lot of these lifters have already achieved some serious success on the international stage.
Well, he came out and there was confusion because the bar only went up by 1 kilo and everybody sort of thought, is that correct? And no, it wasn't. You can see they put it up to 132. So it's a 2 kilo increase for Angelov. In fact, Angelov going to 135. So this is Genç out here. Valentin Genchev, first attempt, 132. Three whites.
Success after success, that's what we want. A small stagger at the end of it just to regain composure and stability under the bar, but that's fine.
Yeah, he was the European junior bronze medalist of 2 years ago. I love the pace this competition's going. It's really good.
It is. And you can see a solid lifter underneath the bar. What I mean by that is they show no wobbling, no instability.
So now is the turn for Yusuf Genç for Turkey. His teammate still warming up, Mohamed Ozbek, another Turkish talent. And there are plenty in the wings who've yet to start. So Yusuf, 125, 130, now 132 for 3 out of 3. New weight category.
Oh, dear.
Well, that's really disappointing. Yeah, I thought with the way he walked onto the stage that it was clear, the job ahead.
I'd like to see that from this side. I'd like to see whether that was psychological or out of position, but the camera angles we're getting don't tell us anything, I'm afraid. Almost certainly that was partly in the head.
Here is the appearance of the defending champion. Now, we've seen this guy over the years. He's terrific, but his real forte, Mikhaila, is in the clean and jerk. So he's got to keep pace with everybody in the first half of the competition. Benjamin Kenge Matam for France. First attempt from the defending champion.
Expect the elbows to look bent overhead. So long as there's no movement in them, it's fine.
All right for you?
Yep, no problems there.
So 133 whizzes him into first place, but there's a lot of competition around.
Notice here he's pointing to his elbows as he comes onto the platform to tell the referees that his elbows don't lock. Funny, because when he's in the start position, they look absolutely perfect when he's on the bar. He does a lot of upper body work, unnecessary, carries a lot of muscle in the upper body, and that makes it difficult to straighten the arms.
Like so many of the French lifters, originally lifting for the Cameroons, there was actually an African championship bronze medalist, but that was way back in 2008 for Bernardine. And now Goja Shekedze, 134, opening attempt here for Goja. So all the first attempts still going in.
Yes, they are, and although that was a good first attempt, if we get the replay from the side, you'll see that he's slightly forward, slightly on his toes, but he lands at the bottom, stands straight out, which gives him the ability to recover by taking the step forwards. Lifters that would sit there and not move have the chance of missing the lift. So ideally, you want to be catching it and standing.
You can hardly catch your breath at the pace this is going. And it means that the coaches have got to be really sharp, particularly as we move into the second and final lifts. They've got to be able to really very quickly assess and react. Very good from Mendoza, better than the first one. Well done.
2 from 2, and he's an athlete fired up already for this competition. Bring it on, he says.
Now he goes into second place in the snatch because Shekedze got to 134 first, but they're both equal on 134.
There's a hesitation there before he drops underneath. That's because he's trying to lift the bar higher. In my view, that's time wasted where he should be dropping quicker. There's an opportunity to go even faster.
Has had some success, won the Mediterranean Cup a couple of seasons ago. So, next man out onto the stage here, Ivanov. Now this is a 5-kilo increase. A bit more acceptable as we move up the body weights.
No.
No. Подъем не засчитан. Same weight, also second attempt.
It's quite important to note at this particular point we're actually at double body weight.
Well, whipping the shoulders back quite a lot at the top, puts the swing on the bar, difficult to steady it overhead.
Well, still in the wings, Zulfat Gareev of Russia, Mirko Zani of Italy, and Mohamed Ozbek. They've all yet to start their first attempts, all, well, Gareev 140, Zani 142, Ozbek of Turkey 138.
Sits tight at the bottom.
Gets the lift, does Petr Angelov. 135 puts him into first place, for the moment at least.
Prowling to the bar, eyeing it up as if to say, this is mine. Confidence all the way, great extension. Really fast under the bar, love the positions. Very good technical lifter.
So, Belarus needs this to stay as close as he can to the action.
Nope, it's gone. He's losing it.
Well, his personal best from a couple of years ago was 129. So the 130 was a personal best, but sadly couldn't go any further.
Desperately disappointing at this kind of level. But if you're going to swing the bar at all, expect there to be a lack of consistency, especially when the weight gets to top weights. The lifter, any lifter that throws his shoulders back is going to compensate with hips going forwards. If the hips go forwards, where do you think the bar's going to go?
So Valentin Genchev on 136. This is another man going for a new competition personal best. A lot of these men may well have lifted these sort of weights and possibly more in training, in non-affiliated competitions, but this is where it really matters. And he's very workmanlike, isn't he? He's not mucking about. And the Bulgarians, you know, they've had such a strong start to the championships, Michaela. That spirit will have gone right through the camp.
It certainly will. And do you know what, David? I'm seeing a completely different Bulgarian team here. Not just that we've got youngsters coming through. I mean, you rewind 10, 15 years ago and Bulgaria were dominating. Now they're coming back in to be a force to be reckoned with, but they're technically really, really good.
Yeah, well, if you wind the clock back that far, they were dominating for all the wrong reasons.
Totally. Let's hope that is not the case now. They're definitely moving better.
Here's the champ. 3 more kilos for Mr. Matam. Breathe a sigh of relief, really, because that's really important to keep him in touch.
Just always so quiet and unassuming as a lifter. Look at the way he just prowls up and down. He never moves fast unless he's on a weightlifting bar. Every time you see him, he's very quiet, very conservative. But when he's on a bar, that split second, he's lightning fast. He's got to be to get under a bar that barely passes the waistband.
Yeah, he's off the stage. He's also very softly spoken. Really nice guy to have a coffee with. In fact, the whole of that French squad, you know, they'll have in their minds Paris, you know, 2024, as does the sport. So Bernardin into second place because Genchev got to 136 first. So Valentin Genchev for Bulgaria leading Bernardin Kango-Matam. And Matam, as I mentioned originally, like so many of the French lifters, have come to France to take advantage of the coaching expertise and the support that they could get there. This is Goja Shekidze. The bar has gone to 138 kilos. This is just a kilo below his best. Still 3 men yet to start. Thirty-second buzzer, plenty of time. Oh, it's there.
It's there, but you saw the instinctive reaction to being out of position. I don't know what angle we're going to get for the replay. If it's head on, watch, there's movement, there's rotation at the shoulders, just as he was instinctively trying to stabilize the weight. Not perfect, but it counts. Rounded back off the floor, throws the shoulders back, horrible swing, drops the chest, but somehow manages to recompose.
And Shekidze with 138 goes to the top of the table. By the way, Mohammed Özbekov of Turkey, he was on 138 for his opener. He's pushed it up to 139. Obviously, we're assuming that warm-up has gone well. We haven't seen too much from the back room, which is a pity, but I can actually understand it in this competition because it's really whipping along. And you can see the satisfaction, and that tells you how much the desire was. 3 out of 3. Good job.
Some fantastic lifting in this final men's 67 kilo category. These lifters are really creating their own adrenaline. It just seems that they're bouncing off each other. Each lifter won't really know what each other are doing, but they will sense that there is a good positive atmosphere and there are a lot of successful lifts. It just raises that excitement level.
Just to put it in perspective, the standard, which is yet to be achieved in the European ranks, the senior standard, 151 for the snatch. We're some way from that. Oh, I tell you what, it's becoming a crowded house, Michaela.
If there was a crowd, it'd be going crazy now. Unfortunately, playing to an empty stadium. But he's playing to us, and at least we get to enjoy the moment with them. Really good speed, great technical lifting. There's no pull on that bar, there's no shrug and trying to get the bar higher. That's more of a kick and a catch, explosive, dynamic, and fast underneath.
So Shekedze and Angelov for Georgia and Bulgaria, and Genshev also for Bulgaria. All three men on 138. Shekedze's got one more attempt left, and now so has Bernardine Matam. Right on his personal best, this. Oh, well done. Well done. I'm absolutely delighted for him.
He won't smile, though.
No, it's just, if you wind the clocks back a few years, he was really struggling in this phase.
That's fantastic. Good. Look at this, really good. I think he's improved technically. He's sharper. The positions are much better. He's getting good upward momentum on the bar. The elbow bend, that's just the way he lifts, but there's no press out. It's great lifting.
Yeah, really encouraging. Matam, 30 years of age, and now the first appearance of Mohamed Ozbek, talented youngster Ozbek. The 73 kilo European junior champion of 2019, coming down. Is that 73 kilo strength?
You know, if you can cut weight and do it sensibly, if you've got weight to cut, then you can absolutely maintain strength. He doesn't look in bad nick. He doesn't look like he's cut too much. So potentially a very wise decision.
10 years younger than Matam, only 20.
Wow.
Turkey lead the way. Now, disaster 2 years ago, so far 2 out of 2. Now this is, he's really pushing himself here. 134 to 139, 5 kilo increase.
Yes, no.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on,
what a save.
Come on. Yes, yes, yes. Stand still, are you in control? Yes, he is. Oh, don't you just love that?
That was a tremendous fight. Now, look, if you're back home watching this, I do not encourage you to fight a weight that's going backwards. Let it go early, unless you're on a big platform, of course. And that's exactly what we saw here. Going backwards, saves it, coming forwards, struggling to stand. That's how much it took out of him.
Oh, that was just glorious to see. Mendoza up into silver. But now things might change. The appearance of Zulfat Gadeev of Russia. First attempt in at 140 for Gadeev. The bronze medalist in the World Senior Championships 2019 in Turkmenistan, when he achieved 144 kilos, starting 140. Russia, who only got their first gold medal of these championships earlier today in the women's 59 kilos.
Did you see the speed that he stood out of that squat position? I thought he came up as fast as he went down. He's got some amazing leg strength there. Not a fan of the way he pulls and throws the shoulders back. Very, very strong.
I mean, that's what we call motorway speed limit speed, isn't it?
Yeah, on the recovery.
Yeah.
He accelerated standing out of the squat. I'm blown away by that. Compare that to the Spanish lifter that struggled to stand.
Now, Shikidze, he's got one more throw of the dice. So far, so good. Now 140 for Shikidze. Now, again, this is going for a personal best by a kilo. These men are really challenging each other now. They're challenging themselves at the same time. Big question. Come on. Asked and answered.
Well, this is a fantastic competition. I'm tempting fate now, but I'm going to say it. Only 3 failures in this entire group so far. Still one lifter to open their campaign. Mirko Zani of Italy, we're about to see very shortly.
Yeah, and everybody's made their first attempt.
Whips the shoulders back, but it was there. Cannot criticise the lack of speed that we're seeing.
Now, Zani, this is his strength. The snatch, he's got to make this count. He's not quite as effective in the clean and jerk. Zani, fast improving, 23 years of age. The under-23 European champion of 2 seasons ago. I told you, everybody's done something. Everybody's an achiever.
Look at that. And you want to see technical perfection. That is not far off. The line of the bar was fantastic. Mirko Zani is one to watch. That was tremendous.
Everybody's made their openers. Great stuff. And now, Mohamed Uzbek to come on for his second attempt. A 3 kilo increase here. He's into the 140s. In terms of being on a competition stage, new territory. Excellent.
It's kind of not much to say, is there? They're just flying through these weights. The speed, the tempo of the competition has been outstanding. The technical lifting has been fantastic. And these guys are shifting some decent weights here, and they're doing so and making it look comfortable.
5 attempts to come. 2 for Garaev of Russia, 1 for Uzbek of Turkey, 2 for Zani of Italy. Which way is this gonna go? Russia would dearly love to win an overall title early on in the championships they're hosting. Absolutely splendid. The presentation, as you can see for yourself at the stage, the investment they put in here. And Zulfat Garaev, 21 years of age. A bronze medal at world junior level, not European level, world level. That's the signpost of something special to come.
It's better.
And that was really significant because 144, suddenly he's got a 2 kilo advantage over the rest.
And that attempt was far more explosive and aggressive than what we saw. That was outstanding lifting. The speed transitioning from extension to dropping under was better as well. The whole tempo of his lifting has just taken the next level.
Well, Mohamed Uzbek, who's still alive now, for him, his last attempt, he's in unknown, uncharted territory, whereas Mirko Zani has actually got a snatch best of 147 kilos. So there's a There's a real fight here between these three men, and Uzbek just going up the 2 kilos. I say just going up the 2 kilos. This will obviously keep him in touch. At the moment he's in bronze. This would take him into silver for the snatch.
Yüksek çekiyorsun kasıktan. Yüksek çekiş.
Wow, wow, wow.
I hope everybody back home is watching this and enjoying the level of competition we're seeing here. This is truly outstanding. I don't think I've ever, in my whole time involved in the sport, seen this many successful lifts in one group. This is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, these guys have been off the stage. We've been off the microphone for, what, 2 years, Kyla. This is a privilege.
The coach is enjoying just as much as we are.
Oh, well, this is something really, really special. You don't see this every day of the week. And Zani now, as I said, he's got these 147 kilos. That's his personal best.
Back into the lead goes Zani with 146. I got nothing to say technically apart from spot on.
Yeah, this is truly great lifting.
Look at this, great position off the floor, fantastic extension, brilliant overhead position, hook grip so he can really fire the legs effectively. These guys are not trying to muscle these bars up. They're using technique and explosive leg and glute power. Russia under pressure.
Zani in gold. Uzbek, brilliant. He's in silver, 145. Couldn't ask any more. And Gareev now. Now, the weight that he's asked for, Gareev?
147, I think.
Yeah, 147. It had to be, hadn't it, to get that extra kilo to go into the lead. So this will be something special if he can deliver this. And he can.
Oh, that's risky. That was risky there. That was, excuse me, a little bit cocky, a little bit arrogant. But you've got to make sure you keep your hands on the bar below shoulder height at least. You let go of this very early. Again, technical precision, outstanding. Just watch where the bar is when he lets go, if they show us.
So here we are, Michaela. We've got a situation where he's just produced a 3 kilo personal best to go into the lead, and Zani now has to try a new personal best to get it back from him. So the bar's got to surely go to 148.
Well, if you can't get up for this, what can you do? No crowd, but he'll know the importance of this lift, and Russia look on in anticipation.
I'll tell you what, this has been the best 40 minutes of the championship so far, and the best 40 minutes that I can remember of any championship for a heck of a long time. Now, can he just top it off here? I think he can.
Commentator's fate, David.
He's come on! Absolutely. Zani of Italy takes the snatch gold, a precious kilo advantage into the second half, where he'll be much more up against it. And Zulfat Gareev of Russia, the silver medal with 147 kilos, and Mohamed Uzbek takes the bronze. What about this guy?
Absolutely outstanding lifting from the young Italian Mirko Zani, gold medalist on the snatch.
You know, this afternoon, I have to be honest, Mikhail, I was a bit disappointed with the women's 59 kilos, but this has just brightened my day.
Agreed. David, we've got, I don't even know how many lifters, it's 10 lifters in this category. Only 3 red lights across the entire board. That is incredible.
Brilliant start. Let's cross our fingers. We have a clean and jerk to competition hall, changed from the original one that was planned a year ago, and it really is a very smart facility. Well, just to remind you that in the B group earlier today, as far as the clean and jerk was concerned, 148 kilos was the best that was lifted by Victor Castro, and the best total was also achieved by him, 280 kilos. But that is going to be surpassed pretty quickly, I would think, but just to keep you in touch with what is about to happen. So, of course, the clean and jerk, 2 phases, heavier weights, but all those men really pushed themselves, a host of personal bests throughout that competition.
It wasn't just good lift after good lift, was it, David? It was good lift after good lift under pressure and pushing themselves beyond what they've ever done before. And just to clarify, if I may, on the B group, it's actually the lifter from Czech Republic, Petr Petrov, has hit a 165 on the clean and jerk, but he doesn't have a total. So remember, there are medals for the snatch and the clean and jerk and the total. So it's 165 to surpass before lifters go into clean and jerk lead in this A group.
That's what happens, Michaela, when I get overexcited. But you're perfectly right, and thank you for that. 165 is the sort of level that quite a few lifters are going to come in at, as opposed to Petrov, who finished on that lift. But actually, we're going to start more modestly with the Spaniard in picture here, Acoran Mendoza, 3 out of 3. Well, there were only 2 men who didn't get 3 out of 3. It's quite extraordinary, but let's see what he can do in this second half of the competition. So Acoran, representing Spain, 30 years of age, and 163 is his personal best. But he's starting on 155, totally understandable. Remember, these men have not been on a competition stage for the best part of 2 years. A first total achieved.
That was a pretty conservative but solid opener. Just got to get the numbers on the board to make that total, and thereafter you can push, push, push.
So, as we said, he is the leader in the total, but only the runner-up at the moment in the clean and jerk.
Technically very, very good, nice and straight underneath the bar. And what was interesting there is you could see on the slow-mo the bar floating upwards as the lifter was transitioning under.
Dmitry Ivanov with the same weight. He was the young lad who had the toughest time in the first half of the competition, but it's worth remembering that Ivanov is really a baby in this class at only 20 years of age.
At such a young age, they've got so much further they can go. I remember this kind of age, goodness me, it was the start of my career. But technically very good. Quite a tall lifter for this category, but moves well. So lifter being asked to step back off the platform or to wait a minute because the bar is not ready or is not loaded correctly. It's difficult now because of the COVID regulations. Where is the technical controller? Normally there's a technical controller stopping the lifter going up. I haven't actually seen one. Are they there? Are they standing far enough back, I guess, the lifters can still get through?
Yeah, well, you're right. The rule is the technical controller should not allow the lifter to go onto the stage until the bar is absolutely ready. And he should be watching to make sure that it's correctly loaded.
Difficult to stop a lifter when they're socially distancing. Oof. What do the referees make of that? It was a staggery lift. Did the elbows come unlocked? He thinks he wasn't sure, and he's been given it, I think. And you could see by his reaction that he was like, oof, lucky.
I was looking at his shoe, actually. I wasn't...
Right, it's just it's the Velcro he hasn't done up, that's all. But watch the elbows. Ooh, you could call that one either way, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But even in his mind, he knew that was a dodgy lift because of his reaction when he saw the lights.
295. Just a reminder that the best clean and jerk was 165, so we're still a few kilos away from Petr Petrov's performance. So Akoran, now this is a 5 kilo increase. So this becomes much more of a tester. He's only 3 kilos shy of his personal best, but he had plenty of fire in his belly. I love the way he executed the first half of the competition. May it continue.
Oh, that's a tough stand.
Yeah.
Does he have the legs?
He
so
does.
Good overhead.
He does.
Sorry, David. I'm getting excited here. Sorry, over to you.
No worries, I can totally understand it. But, you know, I'm very, very pleased for him. But, of course, that is energy draining.
To stand with a clean as hard as this, you've got to question whether there's any more there for another attempt. But so good overhead. Straight dip, explosive drive, perfect split underneath the bar. Bar over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Thank you very much.
Goes to the top of the table, and Ivanov for Belarus out very quickly now. 160 is his target, another 5 kilo increase here.
Dizzy.
Just by the way, the standard, which has not been achieved so far in the European Championships at senior level, is 181. It's 172 for juniors, and it's 169 for under 23s.
That's what happens. Dip, there's no drive there. He's gone dizzy, trying to shake it off as he walks off the platform.
Just want to remind you that if you have a look at Eurosport.com, find our schedules. If there's anything you've missed, or indeed anything you want to take a look at again, such as the first half of this competition, the snatch phase, check it out, because we have a lot of replays on both our channels tomorrow morning, late tonight, over all the days of all the categories. So this is not your only chance to review and enjoy these competitions again.
Got a lifter in picture right now who's under pressure, having just missed his second attempt at 160. Ivanov. Dmitry, well, he's got only 2 minutes to recover, and you could see the coaches there flapping the towel in his face, just trying to cool him down, get some air to him. 2 minutes is no time at all to recover between maximum attempts. No. If you take a look at the split position on the jerk, back knee's very bent, hips are behind the bar, there'll be an arch in the lower back. That's quite an unstable position. So you've really got to be catapulting that bar very, very high to be able to catch it. His position was just all out, hips way too far behind the bar.
Here you can see it better.
Look at that, I'm sorry, that's awful. Lower back at risk of injury, so are the shoulders. Well, it's been quite an education for Ivanov. Now the
competition moving on. That is pretty hard.
That is pretty easy. Oh, wobble, wobble.
Good lift. 163 kilograms, please.
It's one of these things about this sport, isn't it? There's so many ways to lose a lift.
Thing is, he's clearly weak in the legs, and I totally empathise with him on this. But very good overhead. You've got to put your money. If he cleans it, he's got a chance of jerking it. He works hard. These guys squat multiple times a week, sometimes twice in a day. Look at that for skew-if. The feet are all over the place. The feet should be in line. It doesn't matter which way on the platform you're facing, they are in line. The fact the body's twisted doesn't matter. He demonstrated control, and that's good enough.
Just an indication, we've reached 300 kilos for the total. When Matam won this title 2 years ago, his total was 312. We're going to go past that, Michaela.
A lot of lifters are going to go past this, I think.
Yeah. So this is a real milestone. So this is not only a personal best, this is for 6 out of 6. And this will be a complete turnaround from 2 years ago. Now, can he stand?
Oh.
No, he can't. We said the second one had taken too much out of him.
Now we question whether there were any more kilos in the legs, and clearly not. Just dropped the chest a little, but primarily lacking in the leg strength department. He'll be back again to fight another day.
Yeah, and he's represented himself and his country well. And yeah, I'm glad he's smiling. I'm glad he's enjoyed it. He's blown away the cobwebs, and that weight will come in time.
It's a gutting total to finish on, though, isn't it? 299 kilos.
Yeah, it's like 4th place, isn't it? Sort of, in a funny sort of way.
Yeah, they're not funny either.
No. I shouldn't have mentioned that, should I? No.
Thanks, David. My signature place.
Well, not really.
Ah,
come on.
Come on. I had a few medals, but I had more 4th places than anything.
You're a Commonwealth Games champion. You were top medalist in Europe. Hey.
No, I'll take that, yeah. Thank you.
Don't run yourself down.
I feel better now.
I've seen you in pain a lot of times.
Anybody who does this sport and thinks it's easy can dream on. If you're not in pain, then you're doing something wrong.
So Shekidze now, 165 kilos for him. Goja, 25 years of age, bronze medalist a couple of years ago, at the halfway stage of the competition. Shekidze, 140 kilos to carry forward, 4th place, so he's not out of it.
Back leg straight, pulls the hips behind the bar, but he saves it.
Good lift. The same weight.
165 to put him up into 1st place.
He's not comfortable though, there's some discomfort there. I don't know if it's the wrist maybe. Bit rounded in the back as he comes off the floor. Good strength. And watch the back leg when he lands the jerk. Hips behind the bar. Does well to recover.
So now we've reached the point that Petr Petrov from the B group achieved in the B group clean and jerk. He got 165 kilos. So even though Goja got to 165, he's still only in the silver medal position in the clean and jerk. But now that the bar has gone to 166, this is for the outright lead in the clean and jerk.
Oh, steady, no, it's a no lift. I don't think he's got that. I don't think he had the down signal.
No, he wasn't in control. The body was still moving. You could see the hips go behind, and he just couldn't save it.
That is a real shame. Let's take a closer look. Slightly lopsided as he stands up. A small step to adjust. Hands really wide. That looks good. What a shame. Just there, wasn't under control and dropped it before the referees gave him the down signal. That's unlucky.
But they didn't give him the down signal because he was still moving.
Yeah, he wasn't under control. And that, he's young, he's inexperienced. But then, you know, you don't drop the bar on purpose. Instinctively, your body reacts to how the bar's moving. And this is a really good example of why it's so important that weightlifters condition. We talk about all the, you know, the core exercises, the glute exercises, the triceps, the biceps, the shoulder work. That, to us, isn't training, that's just conditioning. A lot of people go to the gym and do that as their main training session. No, we go and we lift, we snatch, we clean, we jerk, and we do all the variations. But at the end of a session, there'll be time allocated for conditioning. And that is there to make sure that when you do have a wobble, in an example like that, that you're there to fight it and to be stable and safe underneath the bar.
Excuse me. What about this? You've got someone like Genç, who's young, only 18. He's coming up from 61 kilos. And then you've got his Turkish teammate, Uzbek, who's coming down from 73. Is it easier or harder both ways, either way? What would you say?
Well, it's easier to go up, obviously, in body weight because you can just eat. Coming down, you've got to be far more disciplined, and if you're anything like me, you're grumpy as heck trying to lose the weight. But a heavier lifter coming down has already got that extra strength and then has to try and maintain it. A lighter lifter going up, not only do they have to put the body weight on, they have to get stronger as well to be competitive. So it levels out.
By the way, Matam's put his opening weight up to, that's the defending champion, to 170 from 165. And this is Gareev, silver medalist in the first half, missed out by a kilo, but brings forward 147. He needs every kilo. No worries there.
It's not tied in.
Yeah, it's rough around the edges, but it's good enough.
Yeah, I got a question mark. Two lifters I've seen now with back foot poking out to the side. When we're coaching the jerk position, we want the back foot pointing forward. There's a reason for that, so it doesn't strain the knee unnecessarily. One of my own lifters had dislocated a kneecap by sticking the back foot out to the side. Arms are not great on the lock either. See, that back foot's almost flat.
How are you on your tattoos? Are you able to identify the different fraternities?
What rubbish are you talking now, David?
Have a look.
What am I looking at?
Not now, later.
That's better.
That's a
Hold
good
it.
Yeah, good recovery.
Oh, no, I don't know. He's not. Oh, he got a down signal. That's the main thing. Was he under control? I don't think so. I don't think his feet were in line, but the referees told him to put it down. Therefore, that's not his fault.
You win some, you lose some, you win some. Well, let's have a look.
Ooh. Whips the shoulders back, lacks extension on the clean. Yeah, the split position was solid. That was really good. This doesn't help us much. We want to see the legs, the feet.
Well, Genchev opening up here on 168 kilos. Well, such was the competitiveness, Mikhailo, of the first half. They're all having to react. And he's raised his game by 3 kilos for his opener.
Yeah, the opening weights were what was posted at the weigh-in a couple of hours before the start of the competition. Remember, we said at the start they don't have to open on those. They can change them twice. And as you said there, they have to react or the coaches need to react to what is going on around them and what other lifters are doing. Great position under the bar, splits nice and wide. Where you're unable to drive higher, you've got to get the body lower, and he does that superbly well.
You were talking about the difference between the Bulgarians today from what formerly. One of the things is technique, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, total difference, David. The Bulgarian team of 15 years ago would have all been a big shruggers and pullers and whipping the shoulders back and hyperextending the back, swinging the bar, whereas now they're technically proficient. They're using more explosive leg drive, getting far better transitions in the upward plane.
Bar to 169.
Uses the bounce well.
Yeah, but
he was good last time on the jerk. Let's give him a chance. Well,
you sold yourself into that corner.
All right, all right.
There, but just at the moment, Zulfat Gareev is the current overall leader with 314 kilos, which has now surpassed the winning total of 2 years ago.
Al centro del piede, compatto.
It's a bit like driving a motor car sometimes, isn't it? And you look at it and it's been on red for about a quarter of an hour and you wonder whether you're actually going to get home.
That's disappointing, to say the least. Mirko Zani, we knew he was a better snatcher, gold medalist on the snatch. That is not the start to the clean and jerk you would want. Just spat out the back of that, slightly off balance. I'm not too worried. If you're right back on your heels, it's virtually impossible, as you can see, to recover from.
Now, this is where Matam steps forward. This is his strength, the clean and jerk. Matam with a personal best of 175 kilos. And he'll need to go a little bit further because, remember, he was 10 kilos behind the Russian and Zani. But they may not be as effective as he is in this discipline.
All right, don't worry about the bent arms overhead, as long as there's no movement.
And that's what really he couldn't afford to do.
Needs every single lift. The snatches were important, but the clean and jerks are even more critical. Now we're seeing lifters under pressure. This is good. This hots up the competition. The question now is who can cope with this pressure the best and maintain their focus and discipline right to the end. That lift was lacking leg drive. He dipped and he split, did not drive back through the starting position, did not achieve enough upward momentum.
So Mohamed Uzbek, 3 out of 3, 145, bronze medal, right up with the top men in the first half of the competition. Remember, Zani had 148, but he's failed his first clean and jerk. Gareev had 147. His first jerk was 167, so this will bring him right back on terms. So 170 valuable kilos collected in.
Well, this looked comfortable, didn't it? Good extension, stands with ease. There's plenty more leg strength in the tank.
And he's not only back on terms, Mikhaila, he's now a kilo ahead of Gareev, the Russian. So he's closed the gap from the snatch.
I think the medals will now be decided by the most consistent lifters.
So, Shekedze, At the moment, Shikedze, 305 kilos. He's down in 4th place. This is 5 kilos more. So in terms of the overall competition, this would take him to 310 and will move him up into overall bronze. Not easy. But he's made it.
He has made it. Not the tidiest of lifts, but there was a whole lot of grit and determination which was necessary at this moment.
I think you're absolutely right what you said half a minute ago. It's about he who makes the lifts from here on in.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to call this. Drop the elbows when he landed. It wasn't an adjustment though. The bar stayed on top of his shoulders, back foot pointing horribly out to the side.
Now, Zani, got to make this. And that is much better, much, much better.
It is much better, but that first lift may well have cost him. 1 attempt remaining in the competition. He's got to make it count. Look at that, really good speed, nice and compact. Quite a long dip, lovely split position under the bar. He's fuming from that first failure though.
Yeah, Zani, he's got a personal best of 173 now. Well, here's a man who's really under pressure now. The defending champion. And I'm now beginning to think that that defense is almost impossible, really, for him. It would have to be remarkable from here on in. First of all, he's got to get a total, and then he'd have to produce something totally massive on the third attempt.
7 kilos down after the snatch from the medals. Needs this. Doesn't have it. Does he? Oh! He's a lifter that's used to running around the platform. Never stable with that dodgy arm lock. He did very, very well to hold it. I didn't think he had that then.
Zani at the top of the table with 318 kilos.
Next change, 171, Bernardin Kingematan, France, Sagittaire.
Вес штанги 171 килограмм, Бернарден Кингематан, Франция, 3-я попытка.
Well, Matam, with that success, he's moved up to 5th place overall, but he's sitting at 308, and he's 6 kilos out of the overall medals. And this is Gare for Russia. So 167 to 172 is a 5 kilo increase. It would give him a total of 319. So he's doing what is required to get back into the overall lead. Won the European Youth Champion as a 62 kilo lifter some 4 years ago. Won the European Junior Championship 2 years ago.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
The weight is out change.
Funny enough, I wasn't expecting that.
No, big question mark there. We look here that Clean was, well, he had to work for it. The knees buckled in a little. Don't worry about that on the top weights, but he pushed himself away from the bar. That's the sign of a tired lifter. Never to arm's length, needs far more leg drive. The Russians need a lesson on how to wear masks. It's disappointing, and that's costly, because that was an opportunity to go into gold medal position, as you alluded to. Not only that, he's now going to have to follow himself.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a challenge for him, I think. So Mirko Zani, although he failed the first time, at the moment. He's found his way to the top of the table. But I think, watch out for Uzbek Mohammed. Or Mohammed Uzbek, as I should call him correctly. And Zulfat Gareev coming out now. And this is pretty crucial. So he could still go into the lead, but then his destiny would truly be in the hands of others.
You can still see he's still blowing from that previous attempt. 2 minutes is no time at all to recover.
So would you be with this weight?
Oh, collapsed like a sack of spuds under the bar there. What a shame.
Yeah, I'm disappointed for him, actually.
And this is why, as coaches, we push our lifters to not have too much recovery time because in training, because we need to build this lifting-specific fitness. So if you find yourself in this position where you are following yourself, you need to be conditioned enough to deal with it. And clearly not. He was still struggling to recover. Just lacking legs today.
Well, there's plenty of lifts out there at the moment. Genshev, Bulgaria. Lying in 6th place overall.
Nice.
Yeah, he's used this second attempt as a stepping stone. That'll give him 311 kilos. It'll push him up into 4th place overall.
He's got a chance of getting onto the podium, isn't he?
Yeah, 173, but there's quite a lot of lifters live out there. Shakidze's got one, Matam's got one, Uzbek has got two, and Zani's got one, and Gench has got one left. So there's fights for the clean and jerk medals, and there's fights for the overall title at the moment.
And Zulfat Gareev of Russia, who we've just seen miss 2 at 172. He's still in bronze medal position, but the question is, can he hang on? I question whether he'll find himself on the podium at the end of this.
So 173. No, not to be.
No, not great. If you see the replay, you'll see the start position. Bum came up, chest dropped. He was too far forwards, compensated then by whipping the shoulders a long way back. Big arch in the lower back, big swing on the bar. Good luck recovering from that one.
I suppose inevitably, Michaela, after such a standout snatch competition, this feels like a bit of an anticlimax, but it might finish with a flourish.
I don't think it's an anticlimax, David. I think this is what we call good competition, in that lifters are under pressure, and it's how they cope with that, how they deal with that. Can they maintain discipline? Can they maintain focus through the length of this competition? This isn't just about the physical right now. There's a whole lot of mental preparation and training that's gone into it.
174, leading the clean and jerk, but more significantly, the 4 kilos he needs to go over and past Mirko Zani to take the overall lead. Mohammed Uzbek. First bit good. Strong overhead, feet in line.
Ooh.
New leader.
Very, very impressive. Oh, totally on fire, totally under control. Worked hard to stand with this clean. No messing on the jerk. Landed it in a perfect position. Job done. Very businesslike.
$319, a kilo ahead of Zani. Zani's got 1 lift left for Italy. Uzbek's got 1 left for Turkey. But there's Genshev and Shakidze and Matam, who are all in there, particularly for the clean and jerk. They've all posted everybody's on 174. So now we could do with a shot of the coaches playing their poker cards now.
Well, Mirko Zani will take this. He won't go up from this. It's too risky. He needs this weight now.
Well, this will be a personal best in clean and jerk.
This is all of his cards out on the table, and then to ask the rest of the competitors, match me if you can.
Yeah, this is for 322.
huge lift here for Mirko Zani.
Yeah, he won't lead in the clean and jerk, but who cares about that? Not Zani. What he wants to do is to get into the lead overall.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, that is a disappointment. The 2019 European Under-23 champion, he can't secure the Senior European Championship. He lies overall second. He's out of the medals in the clean and jerk, and that's a pity.
It is. I think he's off balance here. Pulled the bar onto himself, on his heels, like with the first attempt. Can't recover from it. You can see that from the early arm bend as he comes off the floor.
Now, Matam. 174 on the bar. So this is, for him, all about the clean and jerk. But is it 174 on the bar? I just need to check. I think it's, no, it's gone up, surely. Has, surely. Can't believe it's...
Zoom out, come on, zoom out, camera. Yeah, 74.
Well, it's strange given that Uzbek's got 174, so this is only to move him up into silver medal position in the clean and jerk. But maybe he thinks that's the maximum. Can he do it? No, not this time. There are times to walk about, and there are times that is just not possible. It's not been his defense, it's not been his day. And Mohamed Uzbek of Turkey stays in the lead in both the clean and jerk and the overall. Mirko Zani in second overall. Zulfat Gareev in third. You commented how you appreciated the improvement in the technique as far as the snatch phase was concerned. Maybe there's work to be done on the clean and jerk.
Very difficult when you've got a dodgy elbow lock. He's working within the limitations that he's got. So I wasn't watching the replay. I was analysing the scoreboard here, trying to work out what each lifter needs. But at the moment, two of the three lifters remaining are trying to get into the medals. So every lift counts now, and the medals are about to be decided.
Yeah, Shekidze here, 5 kilo increase, Gorja Shekidze. This would take him into first place in the clean and jerk, and it would move him from 5th into overall bronze. And there's still Valentin Genshev of Bulgaria alive in this competition, who's put the bar to 177, so he's full of anticipation. This will be a hard clean, too hard.
He's all right. He's just hanging on to the bar, saving the centre referee.
Yeah.
He could have launched that one. That would have been more interesting. Absolutely fine. Just that desperation, hanging on to the bar. He's absolutely fine. Get off him. Give him some space.
Well, we're coming down now to, what is it? Genshev's got one attempt, 4 kilos up. He can't catch Mohamed Uzbek, and Mohamed Uzbek of Turkey is the champion of the men's 67 kilo class. He has one lift left, but this man, who currently lies in silver medal position in the clean and jerk, is looking for 177 to try and take the gold for himself and Bulgaria. So 177 for Genshev. He might do this.
He's got it. What a brilliant jerk. Fantastic effort to catapult himself into the medals.
That's a super way to finish there. 177, his previous personal best on a competition stage, 165. That is one heck of an improvement.
Yeah, an unbelievable improvement, to say the least. Jerk position is so good underneath the bar.
It's not good enough for an overall medal, but at the moment, Genshev sits.
Are you sure? I think that's moved him into third overall.
Well, I'm just having a look here. Hang on a second. 4 kilos. Yeah, that would take him to 3:15. You're perfectly correct, into overall third. I was so focused on the clean and jerk. So now this is a little bit of icing on the cake here. 319 the total, an extra 3 kilos here for 322. And the 2019 European Junior Champion at 73 kilos has come down a weight class and is now the Senior Champion of Europe, 322 kilos. Mohamed Özbek gets the first championship for Turkey at these Europeans. Just 20 years of age, coming down in weight, and much joy for the Turkish contingent.
Really, really good technically. This whole category has been one of the best technical groups I've seen.
Well, it's our best competition of the championship so far. I hope you agree, but I think it is, or has been.
So far, definitely. Let's see what the rest of the week has to hold. I'm sure we're going to see some other spectacles and some other amazing performances, but this really was right up there.
Yeah, so Turkey take the overall gold. Italy get an excellent silver from Mirko Zani. Remember that he was only 4th in the Europeans last year, so that is a step forward for the man who was 2019 under-23 champion. And the bronze goes to a very gutsy Bulgarian, Valentin Genshev, in that final throw of the dice, I should say. 177 ends up with the silver medal in the clean and jerk because Mohamed Özbek went to 178, in fact, to get 323, and has got a bronze medal from the snatch and 2 gold medals. And there are the overall results. Zani, and it's a decisive margin of victory, but a fantastic start to the competition in the snatch phase. And as you said, truly competitive from top to bottom, start to finish. Well, Michaela, if we can have more of that over the coming days, this is going to be a great week.
Yeah, based on that, you wouldn't know that there was no audience. The atmosphere was absolutely electric.
I mean, that's a championship to cherish. That's one he will remember for the rest of his life. Whatever he does after this, he's been in one heck of a competition.
And a performance like that, you know, we had great snatching, but there's only 2 lifters that have nailed 6 out of 6. And I said at the start of the clean and jerk, the most consistent lifters are the ones that will bring back the medals, and both Genshev and Özbek in gold and bronze position have hit 6 out of 6. So really, really nice to see.
Yeah, we talked about Genshev making a massive improvement. I have to say that it's also a criticism, not criticism, but comment that applies to Mohamed Özbek, because he was runner-up in the Junior Worlds 2 years ago, 307 kilos. Of course, that was at a 73 kilo category, and today 323. He was also the Youth Olympic Games champion at 69 kilos in 2018, and the European Youth Champion at 69 kilos also in 2018. So he's been achieving now consistently over the last 3 years.
And at this age, you would expect that. A lot of these guys are still young, still developing, and this is where they'll be improving at the most rapid rate. So using these years to their advantage to get whatever gains they can, and then the latter years is more about holding on. And if they can get just a couple of kilos, that will be deemed a success.
As they're getting ready, a little reprise of what has been a terrific contest.